welcome back to Blackthorn Cottage. My name's Anna and I'm a flower grower and florist living in Northumberland, and this is Neville, my puppy. And it is the middle of January at the minute and it is bleak out there. It is just grey and muddy and rainy and cold and all those things that January often is in Northumberland. So I thought for this month's video I would talk about our house renovation, because we've been renovating our house now for almost 2 years. We started in February 2 years ago, and we did that thing that I think a lot of people do when they're renovating a house, where you really go for it for like 8 months and then you move into the house and you're working weekends and evenings and like putting everything into it. And then we moved into the house and it was warm, and I mean, we were sleeping in our sitting room, so we're just kind of pretending we didn't have an upstairs. But we had a kitchen and a bathroom, and so we lost all motivation to do any more work. You okay? And so we haven't done a huge amount over the last year. But over the last month or so, we've really gotten back into it. My husband Johnny has a cabinet making and joinery business, and they very kindly made us some sliding sash windows, which is so great. So we had them fitted, and for a little while our bedroom looked like this with a big hole in the wall. But now it's got a window in it and it looks great. And at some point, hopefully in the not too distant future, I've convinced Johnny to make a bookcase to go all around the window like this. And I was thinking of getting a daybed to go there as well, to make a good place to read books and lie in the sun. And we had a really quiet Christmas, just at home and seeing family and things like that. And we didn't bother with a Christmas tree this year because, you know, Christmas trees and puppies don't mix very well. And so instead we just picked lots of foliage, and I ordered some narcissi from the Scilly Isles. And I really enjoyed having lots of bulbs everywhere as well, after I put together those bowls of bulbs in my last video. And then for my Christmas present, my husband Johnny and one of the guys at the workshop made us an elm kitchen table, which is so beautiful. I absolutely love it. So we really enjoyed bringing that home and having a kitchen table again. So seeing as how it's so horrible outside, I thought this month's video we could be mostly inside instead. So stick around to the end of the video, because I thought I would make a montage of our renovation experience so far. And I've also been out in the garden picking some bits and pieces to make a winter's arrangement, so I'll do that. But this is what I've been up to over the last few weeks. What are you saying?
Hold it that way and we'll tip off all the dust on the outside. I need you to help me move your
Okay, ready? Okay. You're shaking your head.
that way a bit.
Try to do the light essential if we can. Isn't it? Ah, it's a proper table. That's good height, isn't it?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Ah, real table in the house.
I like the width of it.
Yeah.
We must fit loads of people on here.
Show people around for dinner.
After all the festivities were over, we had a few days decorating the house and cracking on with the work upstairs. So I painted these doors and this electrical cabinet. Then I made a last minute decision to plant a load of tulips. I wasn't going to plant tulips this year because I've had a bit of bad luck with tulip fire in the past, and then I've had deer as well in the last year. But I couldn't resist, so I've covered them in chili powder to hopefully ward off pests. And I'm looking forward to picking lots of tulips in the spring. We had some really lovely days over the holidays. So I spent quite a lot of time in the garden with the dogs. I really love it when they chase each other like this. Frank's still almost always in the lead, which is pretty impressive considering he's 10. But I think Neville's getting faster. Then for New Year's Eve we went to see the tar barrels in Allendale in Northumberland. And I forgot to film anything apart from the big bonfire, which was pretty spectacular. Go on. Run, Frank! That's it, go! Run, Frank! So for this arrangement I picked Norway spruce and honeysuckle and alder in bud and reeds, such a beautiful colour. And then alder seeds and catkins, which I absolutely love the shape of these branches. And my one narcissi. And then I'm arranging them in this little pot that my mother-in-law Kate made, just with some chicken wire and a flower frog. And I used the alder to create the shape, and then added in some of the spruce. And then after that it was just all the little different textural elements, like this honeysuckle and the little catkins and the reeds, and then my statement flower in the middle, my focal flower, the little narcissi, and then after that just tucking little bits in for texture. I've got to say I'm not the biggest fan of doing these winter arrangements. It's a good challenge though, and I really like using the little sprigs of honeysuckle and the alder in all the different stages. So the alder seed, and then the alder catkins, and then the alder in bud. And I love that kind of the blue that comes through in all of that. And then my one flower, my little paper white narcissi. And I really like having these reeds in there as well. So yeah, it was a good challenge. And I had originally said, I don't think I'm going to bother doing an arrangement this month to my husband Johnny. And he said, no, I challenge you to make one. So I was like, but I'm glad I did. I think it's good to keep practicing through the year, you know, just so that you aren't super rusty by the time spring comes around. I just can't wait to have armfuls of flowers again. It's going to be really, really good. So next month, I think from next month, from January, it's going to start getting more interesting because there'll be snowdrops and that'll be lovely. I've seen a few of the florists I really like on Instagram in the past have done these really tiny little dainty snowdrop arrangements. So I'd like to have a go at doing something with snowdrops. And the catkins, which at the minute are quite green, will be really nice and yellow. So that'll make for some interesting shapes and colours as well. And then there'll be the winter aconite and crocuses and grape hyacinths, and so the next few months is going to start getting good. I'm really excited. And so I thought the end of this video, I thought I might recommend a few books that I've been really enjoying or that I find really useful and I reread all the time. one of them I can't find anywhere, so I'll put it in next month's video. It's a really good book on perennials, and I've read it so many times. And you know when you're renovating or doing decorating or whatever, stuff just gets tidied away into places and you can never find anything. But I'll try and find that for next month because it's an absolutely just fantastic book. But the ones I've got to share with you today, I really love this book by Millie Proust. She did a matching one about seeds as well, which is really useful. And this one is it's just like the idea, I think, of her when she wrote it is just that you could almost like shove it in your back pocket and just have it on you. And I've definitely done that with this and the seed one. The seed one is so like covered in soil and things. But this one is just, yeah, it's really beautifully written. She's a great writer. And it's got some fantastic photos and illustrations as well. But it's just like a little pocket guide for making arrangements, and it talks about sort of different vessels. And it's got a really great, this is probably the section I use the most, it's called Arranging Shapes. And she has these lovely illustrations that she's done where she just shows you the different sort of classic floristry shapes that you can do in arrangements. And I found that really useful. And then there's nice little sections on how to do a hand-tied bouquet and a wreath, and yeah, lovely, lovely photographs as well. So I highly recommend that one. I've read this one, I have no idea how many times. So that's a really great book, Floristry, The Grower's Guide by Millie Proust. And then I've been reading a few really good books on pottery because I'm still absolutely loving pottery. And this is fantastic. So if you're a potter or interested in pottery, I highly recommend this. Florian Gadsby is an amazing potter who's really documented his pottery journey on Instagram. I think he's posted something mental, like every day since 2013 he's posted. Something crazy like that. And he's just wonderful. And this is his memoir, I guess, about how he got started and all of his apprenticeships. That's the bit that I found really interesting, especially when he went to Japan. But there's really beautiful photographs as well, and illustrations. He's a really wonderful artist as well. He's really honest, and he's the same, and he's got a YouTube channel as well. So if you're interested, I'd really recommend watching his YouTube channel. It's so relaxing. Like, he's just got this very gentle voice, and it's so there's a lot of pottery videos out there, and his are my favourite. And I think it's because it's just really straightforward, and he's very empathetic. So he'll often say, I found this really hard when I was first learning pottery, which is really reassuring, because sometimes you watch these videos or Instagram posts of potters and they're just like, and they just make this amazing pot, and you're like, how? But he is really honest about just things that he struggled with and giving you tips, and yeah, he's really, really good. So I highly recommend both reading this book and checking out his Instagram and his YouTube channel. And then the last book I was going to talk about is probably one of my most read books ever. It is New English Interiors, and by Elizabeth Metcalf. And yeah, it's just a really beautiful book on interiors. And I've read it so many times since I got it like a year and a half ago or something like that. But what I tend to do, I often this one's always out on the side there, and I'll often either just get it out while I'm eating breakfast and just sort of stare at the pictures, or if there's a picture that I find particularly inspiring, like this one here. So this is this artist I really admire, Tess Newell's house, and she has this really beautiful old Austrian cabinet, 19th century Austrian cabinet, and something about that picture of that beautifully painted cabinet, but then there with the red of that door. Oh, so good. So it took me so long to decide on the colour for these cabinets, and then I'd been rereading this book for the millionth time, and I was just looking at that, and then I had this like, maybe I should, because I almost painted these cabinets red, but then I thought, because we've got the terracotta floors and we've got like soft pink walls. I was like, that's all too like pink and red, I can't do it. But I had this like flash of a moment earlier in the month because Johnny went away for the weekend, and I thought, maybe I could just buy that red paint and then paint the cabinets by the time he gets back. And then I was like, no, resist. But yes, I really, really love just having a look through this book. It's so, the photos are so beautiful. And it's all people that I don't know everyone in the book, but I know a lot of the people in the book. Luke Edward Hall and Duncan Campbell's house, which is just so like eclectic and colourful. And it's mostly sort of, there's lots of interior designers in here, but there's lots of artists. And I really love seeing the homes of artists. They're always so interesting, aren't they? And one of my absolute favourite houses is this one at the end, which is the illustrator Fee Greening. And it's, just everything about it I really love. And it's not even all colours that I would probably go for in my house, but there's just something about it. It's just so quirky and unique and really earthy. So I'll often just find a page like this, and then I'll just leave the book open on the kitchen table for like 3 or 4 days and just walk past it and just be like, oh yeah, I really like that blue, or yeah, that works. And so, yeah, big fan of this book. So if you're a fan of interiors, or maybe you're decorating your house and you want some inspiration, New English Interiors, highly recommend. Anyway, I think that's about it for this month's video. I hope you enjoyed having a look around our garden in December and Northumberland in general. I've been really enjoying going out in the hills around our house for walks on these beautiful frosty days we've been having. The January vlog is going to be all about planning, I think. Planning the year. I've got an idea I've been meaning to do for the last like 2 or 3 years, and I keep forgetting to do it. So this year I'm going to do it, and I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. So it's going to be planning the year ahead. Just a few, I don't know, I'm quite a big fan of New Year's resolutions. I know lots of people aren't and can be quite scathing about them, but I really like starting the year afresh and thinking of things to focus on. And I'm not like, if I don't do the things, I'm not that bothered. It's more about, I guess, like setting an intention for the year. So I was going to talk a little bit about that, and play with some snowdrops. Very exciting. And hopefully by then, I mean realistically by February, we will have finished the house. But in the meantime, like I said at the beginning, I thought I'll show you a little montage at the very end of this video of our year of renovating. And then I didn't really film anything last year, to be honest. But yeah, I might put in a little bit of how it's looking now. I don't think I am going to do like a full house tour or anything like that when we finish, because I don't know, I just feel a bit weird about showing the whole of my house on the internet. But I thought I'd just show you little snippets of what we end up doing. And yeah, I mean, you'll see all the windowsills, because I'll be putting all flower arrangements I make throughout the year on all the different windowsills. So it's going to be really nice. It's going to be really nice to have somewhere else to sit in videos other than here, and somewhere else to put flower arrangements other than the windowsill in there and this counter here. So I'm looking forward to that very much. So thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for all your lovely comments in my previous videos. I'm sorry that I can't reply to everyone, but I really, really enjoy reading them and hearing what you've been up to in your part of the world. And yeah, hearing what's going on in your gardens. I'm really enjoying that. So please let me know in the comments what you've been up to in your garden. Is there anything interesting going on? Do you live somewhere really warm and tropical, and is your garden full of really beautiful flowers? I'd love to hear about it. I look forward to seeing you all next month, and in the meantime, here is some footage of our house renovation. Bye! So this was the first day after the builders had started working on our house. and they worked really quickly. They dug up the floor and they'd smashed down walls. It was destroyed pretty quickly. And for such a long time, weeks and weeks and weeks, the house looked like this, with just earth floor. And this was our kitchen and bathroom, but we knocked the walls down. And then we did lots of insulating and put underfloor heating in, and then cement on top of that. And then the walls were put back up and plastered. And everything started to look a little bit more like a house again. And this is our bathroom, which we extended and made a little bit bigger. There's Frank. He was so confused that whole time. What's going on? And this is starting to paint. And then we got terracotta floors put down in the boot rooms or pantry area and the kitchen. And slowly it's starting to come together. This is our sitting room, which is currently our bedroom. And then this is it when we moved in. So it's still a little bit of a building site, but very livable. And this is the pantry after it just been fitted. And this is our bathroom. And this is it today. So there's still a few bits and pieces to do, a bit more tiling to be done in here, and a few bits of painting. This room's pretty much finished. We've just got to paint the door. This is where Neville sleeps. And then this is our bathroom. I couldn't turn the lights on because it was too bright, so I lit some candles instead. And then this is the bedroom. Still a lot of work to be done, but hoping to be sleeping back in there by February. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next month.